Hello everybody, this is Ricky from RMT Books. Today we're doing our next Flow project feature. I want to take a look at the project Zeedz. This is definitely one of the biggest projects on Flow as far as artwork goes, and I believe they have a game that goes along with their project. So there's that going for them, and also they have a fantastic community. The interaction in their community is rapid and fast, and it's definitely something that's interesting for RMT Books to take a look at. Now, I want to get into an introduction real quick here about what it is RMT Books does and these features, just in case you haven't seen another one of our feature videos. RMT Books looks at how projects on the Flow ecosystem are communicating with their audience and with potential new audience members. That is what RMT Books looks at, the communication between the project and the customer or consumer. So today, when I go through my analysis of the content from Zeedz, I'm going to take it from the approach of somebody who knows a little bit about Flow, a little bit about the gaming world on Flow, and they're just going to go and look at Zeedz for the first time, and we're going to see how Zeedz is communicating with this new user. All right, so here I am. Let's get started. I'm on Google. My buddy just told me about Zeedz, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come here and type it in. Zeedz GmbH. So the first thing I see here when I type in Zeedz, I see that they have their websites right here. Well, that's not the first thing I see though. The first thing I see is this picture, a blurry picture. Blurry pictures. Blurry pictures as far as when people are getting a first impression, you can't show blurry pictures. So we got to keep an eye on that. Whoever running this Google setup right here should go ahead and fix that and put some cool picture of like the Zeedz that we'll see here in a little bit. Something other than a blurry picture, please. All right, now first thing result is a Zeedz website, zeedz.io, and it's not advertised, so it's organic based off of this Zeedz search term. But if I were to type Zeedz game, same thing, organic, it's taking you right to the zeedz.io, and it has the Twitter profile right underneath it. And there's a whole bunch of stuff on Zeedz. I mean, they have a LinkedIn account. They have, here's some German stuff on Zeedz. Okay. So Zeedz is based in Germany, in Berlin. And let's go ahead and take a look at first at their website, see what's going on there. All right, so first thing pops up, the website's fast. Artwork is off the charts. The new titles are here. So here we have our first thing. We see a sentence right in the beginning. So what they did here is they decided they're going to use sentence punctuation and sentence capitalization rules right from the get-go. The new titles are here, and they're informing the new user that there's new titles. So the punctuation looks good, but the message is not informing me as a first-time user as far as what titles are. It's leading me already in this direction that there's new titles, but I've never seen a title before in my life. So I'm wondering how that's relevant to me. The first thing I need to know is if you're going to introduce what there's new titles, what is a title? And how does it benefit me to interact with titles? That's the question for a new user. Maybe they're not asking it that direct, but that's subconsciously what's going through their head when they're looking at this first impression on the website is what is Zeedz and how will it benefit my life? How will it make my life better? And if we're presenting then new titles, as far as it almost feels like a ploy to go check them out so you can make a purchase. We haven't clicked on the call to action yet. It's subtly written, so I'll give them credit there. But as far as description goes and first impressions, I need to know in one sentence what Zeedz is and how it benefits the customer. All right, so let's just take the call to action. Grab your title now. All right, so I clicked on the call to action real quick and it took me to this drops tab. I don't know what any of this stuff is. Early game access, details. All right, I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole just yet. I'm going to go back and let's scroll down the website. The Zeedz app is live. Are you ready to take care of your Zeedles and have an actual impact on climate change? Question mark. Check out the Zeedz Alpha app for iOS and Android. Okay, so they have an app. All right, so that's communicated to me that they have an app. Okay. Grow the Future. Zeedz is the first play for purpose game where players reduce global carbon emissions by collecting plant-inspired creatures, Zeedles. They live as NFTs on an eco-friendly blockchain and grow the world together. All right, so this is something, this Grow the Future part, boom, that needs to be at the top. And then keep this second with the Zeedz app. This is something that you're offering them, but it doesn't cost them money to download, I'm assuming. And okay, but first start out with describing what Zeedles is. And then even when you read something descriptive as this get a Zeedle on the marketplace almost fits, but the general rule of thumb is before you ask somebody to make a purchase, then you want to have 3 clicks as a distance. So give me something here that's leading to find out more information. See, like this blockchain NFTs, understand it here. Replace that with this get a Zeedle on the marketplace so that you're not coming off as make a purchase on what's now an impression within 15 seconds. You don't want to come off as, hey, make a purchase. Rather, you just want to be like, here's all the stuff we can offer you. Let them know how it benefits them. So if they maybe don't know about blockchain NFTs, then they can go learn more about it. But I would make this more about Zeedz instead of blockchain NFTs, because then you're generalizing it. Instead of making your funnel narrower, you're actually going the wrong direction. If you go from Zeedz, which is an NFT project, and then you take it backwards to the blockchain is such an enormous topic that you don't really want to lead them down that, because that'll just confuse them. So we'll go in here and explain more about how Zeedz, when you participate with Zeedz, it donates to different CO2 emission, donates to eco-friendly foundations that help the environment. So maybe go into more of that as like, hey, you're not just going to be playing a game, you're also going to be helping the environment at the same time. All right, then there's a YouTube video, Zeedz, let's grow the future, what it's all about. So what is Zeedz? Okay. So if anything, this information, I haven't looked at the grammar anymore, but just from the ordering of the website, give first, ask last. So arrange your tiles as far as what you're presenting to your customer by the most you can give at the beginning, and then give some more, and then start asking down here as far as like, check out the marketplace. At the very bottom, you can start doing that. But you kind of start with the biggest amount of giving and then go to the ask at the very bottom. So think of it as a funnel, and you come to the point at the end. All right, so this is cool. Let's just spot check some grammar right here. We'll take this one and we'll throw it into the grammar machine. See what happens. Grammar's on point. And so let's talk about this real quick. Let's do one more just to double check them. But this brings up a point I was thinking about earlier. The punctuation is good, and the suggestions I'm getting for as far as grammar goes is they're talking about just there's a way to more efficiently write this. This is one sentence, and it would be by removing the not only and but also, and then just putting a comma after profits, and then creates. So what they're saying here is that this is a list, generates, creates, and actively incentivizes a sustainable lifestyle. So this is a list of phrases that start with verbs: generates, creates, incentivizes. So what we could do here, I know I'm getting off on a tangent over here, but let's look at this. Let's treat it as a list that generates, comma, and then we'll put a comma before the and. And I think, so this came up on the .find project. In Britain, some of these words that Americans would write with a Z, that they'll be written with an S. And because this is a German company, they're probably going to base their writing style off British English, and they'll use the S's. So as long as you do that throughout and all your spelling is British spelling and you can't mix match the two of them, then you're good to go. But as someone looking at your customer base, the proportion of your customers that are in the US will most likely be larger than your customer base in Europe. So you might want to just tend towards the American English grammar. Again, it's your decision, but that's my decision over here with RMT Books, is always just American grammar and American spelling standards. So there, it's good to go. All right, so that was mainly a taste thing, and we went over it to see how we could improve it slightly, but you wouldn't have to change it if that's 100% the style you're going with, how they wrote it before. It's all taste thing at this point, and it's just like little details. Whether or not you decide to use them, it's sometimes your decision if you have some sort of grammar reason behind it to back it up. All right, so that was that. Let's just go back to the website and let's get back into their social media. So they have a Twitter and Instagram. Let's go to their Instagram. All right, so when we get into analyzing an Instagram page, there's a lot to work with here on the Zeedz page. The first thing we're going to do is look at the profile picture. It's good. Then we're going to look at the ratio of followers to following. And what we do here is we take the bigger number, the 4,074, and divide that by 46, and you get a ratio of 88.6. That's a good number, and this number should tend towards infinity. Then we look at their description, and they're doing all the right things here. Play for purpose, the hashtag. So this is with the hashtag, now people can search for it and come directly to their page, play for purpose. And that's probably a very specific hashtag. So if somebody knows that, they're going in the right place. Collect and grow your Zeedles. Fund real climate projects, eco-friendly blockchain, Zeedz.io is the website. Alpha app is live. All right, see, they're describing the project in the beginning, and then they're doing their call to actions at the end, Alpha app in the link tree. Then we go over here to their stories that they had posted. If you scroll through, these thumbnails are looking good, right? But as we get over here, then we're starting getting stuff like this, like random pictures. Stick with the thumbnails. If you're a project that wants to have something that's 100% presentable at all times, always just use similar thumbnails and have a theme throughout the thumbnails on your archive stories thing. So if we click on this one, it's going to go to a story about NFT Day. And then you can see what kind of stories, how they put together a story. Now, just quick thing to stories. It's okay to use this stuff, the writing on the stories. But the only thing I notice here is that if you're going to do an Instagram story, these formatted of videos, they can be on Instagram, they can be on YouTube Shorts, and they can be on TikTok. So if you're going to make these videos, the smartest thing to do is always start at TikTok, because from TikTok, you can share your video everywhere. But from Instagram, to get the video on YouTube Live, I have to go back to the source video, and I can't do, and then put it on YouTube Live, and then I have to re-edit it again. Instead, I just go on TikTok one time, do all my text and all this stuff. And then from TikTok, I let this portrait video content go through the different social media channels. So that's the only thing I see, and that's being really, really super picky. That's a long story. There's a DJ. Cool. All right. Yeah, so that's the only thing I see. This is good. So this is the style of like Instagram stories. I see it. You include a post and you have the emojis that they offer you, but start at TikTok. And you can do all this stuff on TikTok and then move it from TikTok everywhere else you want to go. Only when it's a video though. So like this kind of stuff is going to be hard to make on TikTok there. But if we go back here, like this is a TikTok video right here. This is a TikTok video because there's video footage being taken. This is a post, is an Instagram story with just a regular picture. Don't use this for TikTok, okay? So I hope I'm clear. This is a TikTok video. We see the difference? TikTok video. TikTok video. Still TikTok, okay? Like this kind of post isn't going to be a TikTok video, again, because you're taking the graphics and the post directly from Instagram. It's going to be way easier to do on Instagram. All right, so I hope that's clear. And that's, again, the only thing I see, but that's being super picky. Now we're going to look at their post. And the first thing you want to do as somebody who's analyzing content is compare the number of likes to the overall number of followers. And this time, instead of getting, what was that called? A multiplier, we're going to get a percentage. So I'm going to do the smaller number, 74, divided by the 4,074. And I'm going to times that by 100. And then this is saying that 2% of followers interacted with this post. And this one is 52, so we're getting below 2%. This one's getting below 2%. And then it is dropping there. This is the one I like the most so far. So we see in the beginning here, or in the beginning, a while back, they're getting more likes. Well, more or less, it's about the same. But the ones that show people, they have the most likes. So maybe that's something that's interesting for when they're posting stuff, is they include people, because that's the ones getting the most likes. Our new head of marketing, Marie, joined our Berlin team this week for a marketing strategy workshop. Stay tuned for new content formats, exciting giveaways, and more updates about what the future of Zeedz will hold. All right, cool. So they're doing a report. This is something that could like also be a tweet. Let's check the grammar on it. I forgot that O. There's a comma before Marie. I think they had the period in there. They used a rocket ship as a period. That's something that you'll see often in the NFT space as far as punctuation goes, that they replace periods with emojis. So I'll accept that. That's fine. All right, so this is the most interesting thing. So they have people here writing in, I don't even want to say what language that is. Go get to English. Okay, cool. All right, so looking over the Instagram page, I'd say it's good to go. There's a couple things that could be done to improve the overall view here in the beginning. But as far as the posts go, it's hot, it's good. It's good. Good stuff. And then the only thing to pay attention to is just this ratio right here of interactions to number of followers. And then this might also play a role, this 266 posts, but just keep it simple that you always have a number to refer to. All right, let's go back to the website and see their next content platform. Let's look at Twitter. Twitter. So here they rearrange the order compared to Instagram, but their banner's good. Their PFP is the same as Instagram. Their posting, artwork is good. The graphics are good. Graphics good. Way to use this was also on Instagram. That's good. And then here, check your numbers again. So you see that 940 on Twitter. Compare your numbers to the number of people who viewed it. because the information is right there, and that's a better number than your overall number of followers. So if 945 people view it, let's look at the percentage that liked it. 35 divided by 945 times 100. So 3.7% interacted with this content. Try to get that number to about 10%. I think 10% is possible. I've seen 10%. Just scrolling through the Twitter profile, I just see the graphics are good. And then grammar on Twitter is tough. Yeah, so how would you check grammar on Twitter for something like this? Let's go over this real quick, because this is possible. Okay, see it. Control V it. All right, so they're doing new game feature update, and then I'll do the punctuation is there. And then what I'll do is I'll write this as a form of a paragraph, but I'm going to be using interspaces when I do it on Twitter, but let's look at it as a paragraph. So let's see what's going on here. I'm not worried about that. What's new? Consider rearranging your sentence to improve the flow of the paragraph. So here they're saying put the comma at the very front of your information. I mean, not the comma. Put the question at the front of your information. What's new? Players can now fight the evil Lord Ko II. So we see the difference here. Let's just look at these first two sentences, okay? We could write it like this. What's new? Players can now fight the evil Lord Ko II. Or we have it how they had it in the tweet. They say players can now fight the evil Lord Ko II. What's new? So you're saying what's new, and then you're asking them what's new. But I do believe this one is a little bit cleaner. What's new? New game feature update. What's new? Okay, so we don't even need the question in there, because here it says new game feature update. Boom. Get rid of that. Players can now fight the evil Lord Ko II. So new game feature update, and then you immediately tell them what the what that feature update is. And then we go down here and we'll say all right, so what we did is instead of asking the question, we speak to them directly. So just directly speak to them. And then as far as the grammar goes, we're going to make a list with the semicolons. Hold on. Watch this. Comma. I mean, not with a semicolon, but with a colon. All right, so we got a little into that. So what we did here is we went ahead and we said we were going to look at how to work grammar on a tweet. I understand that there's a certain feel and playfulness to Twitter tweets. I understand that, but it's still no excuse to not come hard with punctuation. You always, always, always should attempt your very best to include correct punctuation. Next thing is, when we looked at the tweet, we saw that it was asking a question and that there was an ellipses in the tweet. So let's look at it real quick. I'm going to show you guys what we went over. So there's a question in this tweet and there's an ellipses in this tweet. Now, the thing about questions and ellipses when you're trying to pull somebody in to go to the Discord channel is you're letting them think. I don't want to sound rude. I don't want to sound mean, but you're letting them think instead of leading the way. You as Zeedz know the path from getting this person to not having the new game feature to them having the new game feature. Take them along that path and get out anything that might lead to ambiguity or questions. You know the way, lead the way, and omit all the other stuff. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get rid of the question, we're gonna get rid of the ellipses, and we'll go over to the grammar software. Then we're going to write it in sentences to check the grammar before we get into our line breaks. So new game feature update. Players can now fight the evil Lord CO II. The new feature includes, right? And then we're just going to write this extreme weather events. So that's the first. So what we're doing here is we're using a colon, and then we're going to break it down into a list. Right? Because if I have this ampersand here, it's really the word and, right? So let's check that with the grammar. Boom. So that this grammar holds up. Okay. So we have our list of things that are what the new feature includes: extreme weather events, fighting with other players, stat points for Zeedz when leveling up, and much more. Okay. Now we take it through and Twitterize it. Okay, so now we took our list and we made it into a bulleted list instead of having a written out list so that you can put your emojis here where the bullets are. But we know the punctuation's correct because we had it written down like that first. And then we just reformed the sentence into a different format. Okay? The last thing is more information is on our Discord. Instead of saying, check out all new features, boom. So check out all new features. Then I'm thinking now, okay, what are the new features again? As a new customer, I'm thinking, what are the new features? And then I'm going to go back over the new features. But we want people at the end to go to the Discord. That's your call to action. That's where you're going to lead them to next. So we take this last sentence and we just put it like this. More information is on our Discord. Boom, link, go, gone. All right, so that's how you would clean up a tweet. Again, I'm really like splitting hairs over here. Zeedz is doing a fantastic job with their content. But that's why I picked Zeedz. Because I knew they were going to come hard. I knew they were going to bring the heat. I knew it wasn't going to be easy. Just quick glance over to see what kind of improvements could be made to the content that they're distributing on their different platforms. So we looked at that. Again, the graphics are on point. If we're just looking at the graphics, I think we already talked about those. So as far as the writing goes, we went over that example. This is the Twitter page. It's good. It's good. I mean, it's good. It's good. It's one of the better ones on Flow, definitely. The last thing I'd look at is how often they're tweeting. January 31st, January 17th, so 2 weeks later. All right, but it's when they do tweet, they do a good tweet. All right, let's go to the next thing. Let's go to the YouTube channel. All right, YouTube channel. They got shorts up and they have their videos here. They have their shorts up here. Let's look. They have their PFP. They're using the same PFP on all three platforms. Just a little trick, different PFP for every platform. If you have the ability to do that, I think Zeedz does. Different PFP every platform. Just kind of switch it up and allow your brand to be diversified as how people identify with it. 1,370 subscribers. Their names are good, no numbers in it. And let's make that one more subscriber. All right, cool. Let's go over their videos. So again, what we see with YouTube videos, thumbnails, 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 thumbnails. Always, always, always have thumbnails. Every video needs a thumbnail. This is the only video with a thumbnail.
Hi, I'm Annie, and today's event is...
So let's wait. You see this marker down here in the bottom? It's also here, which means they just grabbed the first frame.
Wenn Sie in der IT arbeiten, dann brauchen Sie Altera. Eine Komplettlösung für Fernüberwachung und Verwaltung für Ihren Reisen.
So, hello everybody. Finally, the Discord link started working. I hope you all can hear me. I think we...
Like during the time that you have to wait for the actual game, you can at least already kind of level.
Maybe Sven, once again, you can do this.
Yeah, sure. So I think it's very...
The only thing, so this is a cool idea. Maybe put a little text on here. What they're doing is a podcast, so they have an audio file, no video file, and they're just including a background picture or a thumbnail. And what you would want to do here is just throw some words on here, like, you know, who's talking and what it's about or something like that. This is a cool idea. The audio, if you take a quick listen.
Zeedz platform, so you will see the marketplace in there. And then you will have a cool list.
It sounds like he's in an empty room. You need to throw a parametric equalizer on that and then just continually like normalize to -3. -3 parametric equalizer. There's no noise in the audio, but it's a little rough on certain frequencies as far as their vocals go.
Which you can sort and you can...
I would take the high frequencies out and just look at the low freaks to boost his lows. For a male voice, usually you can just boost the low freaks. So yeah, but this is a cool idea and it's got a lot of good feedback. So it's kind of a proof of concept on this podcast style. We haven't got into podcast YouTubes yet, but we'll get into that in the future with RMT Books. And 26. So if we're going to compare numbers again, like we're doing on Twitter and on Instagram, then we're going to compare it to the number of people that watch the video or open the video. So we'll do 26. And here's the percentage again. 26 divided by 464. And then times that by 100. So they're getting about 5.6% interaction rate here. So we'll like it. We'll bump their numbers up a little bit. All right, cool. That, and then just the thumbnails there. Then we'll look at the titles. Don't timestamp titles on YouTube because this content will live on for years and years and years and years and years. This is your biggest, densest content. This is the heaviest content. If people are interacting with this, you got them on the hook. So take some time and pay special attention to your titles. Here, you can use a verb in your title. You can use prepositional phrases in your title. Be descriptive. Say what's going on. They included chapters. But this is all stuff you kind of want to highlight in your description. There's no description. You need a description here also. Descriptions can be anywhere 250 to 1,000 words. The only thing to remember for descriptions is short enough to keep it interesting, long enough to cover all the good stuff. That's your rule of thumb for writing descriptions. Don't say to yourself, it has to be 500 words. No, it has to cover all the information that you need to cover and it has to do it as efficiently and succinctly as possible. Let's see if we can find any ones with descriptions.
Hello.
Meet our social media. Okay. Meet our social media and PR manager emojis. So include their name here and be a little bit more. If you're making an announcement like this is our new media and PR manager, then I would almost just kind of playfully go towards newspaper headlines if you think about it, with like adjectives and nouns, and use their name and make it colorful just to kind of improve that title, and try to use the full 100. And instead of throwing emojis in there, throw hashtags in there so people can reference your work. But make the hashtag, if it's going to be in the title, it needs to fit the flow of the sentence, and it needs to be specific. Real quick on hashtags, always be specific. Rather less hashtags that are all 100% on point as to what you're talking about than tons of hashtags that maybe you can infer from the hashtag that maybe it has to do with the content in the video. Just avoid any assumptions and drawing conclusions. Everything's super specific. So here, it's her writing. They start with quotation marks, and they don't finish with quotation marks. Call to action. We could read the writing. I love storytelling. Here's a quotation mark. Who said it though? Meet our newest team member, Sharon. She will be taking on the role of social media and PR manager. Sharon has great interest in communication and curating content. In addition to this, she enjoys weightlifting, something she picked up last year. Welcome on board, Sharon. Okay. So YouTube videos are about delivering the most amount of content. This 1 minute 19 video introducing a person is like TikTok content. Here we have so if you're going to have company news, June 2022.
I'm Joey, and I'm one of the 30 AI voices from SpeechLab. You listen to this video.
Hey Zeedz friends, we thought it might be cool to give you a little also visual update on what's happening at the Zeedz company right now. I'm here in front of our wonderful office. Look here, that's us. In Berlin. It's still quite early in the morning. It's a beautiful day. So I would say let's get up. And look here, that's us, not the.
So this is like TikTok content. By TikTok content, I mean Instagram story and YouTube shorts. This is TikTok content. So its place on a YouTube video is not quite the right place. It's well meant, this content, but it's in the wrong spot. If I'm gonna do a Zeedz company news as a YouTube video, always record in landscape. And like what I could imagine is you're sitting in the office and maybe you have like a news desk, or maybe it's just you in a chair with like a nice background behind it, and you're reporting on the news from Zeedz. Or maybe you like then go to a different office, but every time you just still camera and you take the shot with you talking, try to avoid moving around and have you walk through the office. I could see how that'd be cool, but if you're going to be walking through the office, then underlay it with some music and have it as kind of a montage. Like, okay, you say, let's go meet our new social media and PR manager in the video, but you say that sitting down in still frame. And then you walk through the office, and while you walk, it's sped up a little bit with music underneath. And then you go in, and then you sit down, and then you set up another area where you can sit and talk with them, where the camera is held still, preferably with a tripod. So just kind of, if you're going to get into YouTube videos, do realize that depending on what you want to put out is going to determine the amount of production quality that you need to put into the video. So if you're going to make a 6-minute video about the news for the company, then put it on YouTube, then the production quality needs to be on point. In other words, there needs to be a level of production quality to it. And if you want to hold the camera and shoot yourself, then that's on TikTok, that's on Instagram stories, and that's on YouTube Shorts. Okay, so there's a difference here, and the difference between a YouTube video and these TikTok videos is the production quality. So I'm not even going to get really into descriptions here today because, of course we went over grammar so much already, and we went over the style of writing, like, give first, ask last. We went over that style of writing, and so we don't really need to go into more of that. Basically here, the only thing I can see for the YouTube videos other than the thumbnails and the titles is you need content that fits to YouTube as far as the production.
Good morning, this is Sven.
So here, first thing, background noise. That's okay for a TikTok video, but you can't do that on YouTube.
Ben from the NFT NYC.
Okay, here, if you want to show gameplay footage, do a screen record and talk over the screen record of the gameplay footage. If you're going to do a YouTube video on gameplay, you can also include like a picture-in-picture of the person playing the game, but that's your decision. This video from the production level compared to the other YouTube video that we looked at before where they were doing a news thing, if you're going to show gameplay footage from the production level, it's easier to make videos like this than it would be to make that news video. This kind of video showing gameplay would be 1/10 of the work compared to the other type of production that you need for the other video. All right, so it's just that. That's what I see mainly about the YouTube, that, if you're gonna do a YouTube video, do realize it's a big undertaking, meaning that it requires resources. TikTok videos are not YouTube videos. All right, cool. Cool. So that's our YouTube channel. Let's go to their Discord. I saved the Discord for last because I love their Discord. I love the Zeedz Discord. That was their rules page. Here, these can be similar to Twitter posts. I mean, look at the amount of work they put into that. This is an announcement. Holy Madanas. This is a good, wow. All right, we're going to spot check them. Spot check the grammar. All right, here we go. Here we go. Got to be careful when you're writing big text. When you're writing big text, long text, you got to be careful. So leveling was misspelled. I'm not worried about the spacing so much. Here's just clarity. Clarity again. When I see things like clarity, I just think it's the writer's choice. It's the writer's choice as long as the grammar's good. Grammar's always takes first place, but as long as the grammar's good, then clarity is the writer's choice. Usually, my rule when I'm going through text is always go with the grammar software. I think the grammar software is way smarter than I am, so I'm definitely just going to roll with it. Okay, so I'll just show you guys. I'll do one last grammar thing. How many grammar exercises can I do all day? Actually, before I go to bed, I read German grammar books. Like, I just read the grammar rules. So it's kind of refreshing during the daytime that I can go over English grammar. German grammar is easier than English grammar. All right. The abbreviation IE seems to be incorrectly punctuated. So it's like little things like this are tough to pick up on. Leveling up is, so just get rid of this, that, the whole sentence. So you'll be able to, you can, right? So they're just shortening, succincting it, that. Right? You don't have to do clarity things. If you're set on what you're doing, then stick with it. I'm just using different adjectives here that you can evolve. So evolve is very specific, so I think I'm going to keep that. The immediate benefit you have, your immediate benefit from leveling. Maybe there's 2 L's in British English. All right, so this is just a quick grammar check, right? So we went through and just cleaned it up, right? So let's just go back and forth over the 2 things. It is the biggest milestone in growing your skills so far, leveling up. And then we'll compare that to the most significant milestone in growing your skills so far is leveling up. So there's just slight differences, but it's a little bit of clarity. As of today, you can now level up your Zeedles using blooms, our in-game currency. All Zeedles will be able to level up to level 100, and their planting power, i.e. how much resources they can earn, how many resources they can earn, increases with each level. Leveling up is the first step in our development activities to evolve your Zeedles. Based on the data we get from the next week of alpha testing, we'll set ideal level thresholds from when you can evolve your Zeedle to the next evolution stage. That's heavy. Your immediate benefit from leveling up is that your Zeedles will earn more weather resources. Okay. Cool. So those again are just the details. That's what RMT Books, that's what we pay a lot of attention to is just grammar. All day, wake up, grammar, and more grammar. Always have to have correct punctuation first before throwing it out there. As far as the content distribution goes, we have 16 December, 18 December, 21 December, and they're going so much content in like 2-day periods. That's ridiculous. This is insane how much content they're putting out. Absolutely incredible. I'm still scrolling down. And they're not just putting like little 1-2 things. They're dropping bombs over here. Oh my God. It must take like at least an hour to write this up. Respect for this. That's incredible. See, this is why I said Discord for Zeedz is my favorite. It's my favorite social media platform out there. Boom. This is so ridiculously incredible that I can't even believe what I'm looking at right now. I haven't never gone through this announcement section so intensely. All right, cool. Other channels, alpha. So alpha means information that's not widely known by the public. Go to the general chat. And we'll just look at this. This is from today, from like 8 minutes ago. And this guy, Sven from the team, is working on it. All right, last thing I want to look at. You can choose different languages, and they have chats for different languages. I bet you they're all lighting up. Like this one's from 9:33, so this was from an hour ago. This video today has been super long. We're at an hour. Holy manoli. So what does that say about Zeedz? Zeedz has a lot of content. They have a lot of content platforms. They're doing so much. It's absolutely incredible what they're offering their consumers. And we just started out with the Google search. This video started out with a Google search, searching for Zeedz. And I found all this content from Zeedz. Now, RMT Books, from the perspective that they're looking to grow the Flow ecosystem by improving the communication between projects and their consumers, would only have to say about Zeedz that we need to look at the details as far as written communication goes, look at the details as far as the production quality of videos go, and what videos are appropriate for what social media content platforms. Look at that specifically so that you can fine-tune the impression that you give your audience and new users. Guys, thank you 7 million bajillion 100 times for watching this video. I greatly appreciate it. Everybody have a good day. Everybody stay strong. Everybody read and check your writing for commas. I'll see you guys next time.